It's the Brilliantly Dumb Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit back, relax, welcome, enjoy. This is yet another edition here of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Let's get rocking and roll, folks, because we got a lot that we got to get to. We got to get to our prize picks gambling segment. We got an Ask Bob segment to get to. Before we get into anything, let me remind you that the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by Rowback. 15% off your first Rowback purchase. Clicking the link in my Instagram bio right there. The most premium golf products around. This is probably the first day I don't have Rowback on. I believe in these guys. If you play golf, even if you just like outdoor wear, t-shirts, polos, Rowback does it all. 15% off your first Rowback purchase using the link in my bio right there. Week 1 was underway. Phenomenal week of football. I say it all the time. There's nothing better than the build up to the NFL season on a Sunday, waking up in the morning, knowing you have football on the slate that day. Just a big, big day for sports. Now, this should be about sports, but something caught my eye in the sports world that I just could not ignore. I want to talk Drew Brees for a second. Drew Brees is on the pregame show now, who I think is going to be very good on the pregame show. The guy knows the X's and O's, good voice. He does it all. Everybody likes Drew Brees. I will tell you this. Many of you may not have seen, but Drew Brees is sporting a brand new set of hair. Brand new. And it looks phenomenal. And I'm happy for him. And you can't help but notice when watching the pregame show that Drew Brees is no longer Drew Brees. We've always known Drew Brees with that receding hairline, the scar to the left. That was Drew Brees. Full set of hair. So you can't even focus on what he's saying for the first few times seeing him because of this brand new set of hair. And I'm very happy for Drew Brees. Good for Drew Brees. However, big loss for the receding hairline community. I am a big part of that community. When you see another fellow brother who's going through the struggle that you're going of a receding hairline, it's an instant bond. And especially when you have these athletes out there on the national stage that are with the receding hairline, you have such an appreciation for them. Drew Brees, for me, was one of the receding hairlines community's top guys. He was one of the guys that sported us better than anybody, I think. I mean, Drew Brees was phenomenal for the receding hairline community. And I just wish, I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I hate to see him go. He got some procedure where he looks phenomenal. He looks phenomenal. It's like, growing up in the projects and having a friend that makes it to the big stage and is now living in a mansion. You're happy for them, but at the same time, you kind of wish they were still in the projects with you. You miss them. You love them. They're a whole new person now. Drew Brees is no longer a part of the receding hairline community. So what I decided to do was, for our top 5 here today, I'm going to go ahead and rattle off the receding hairline's top 5 community athletes that people with the receding hairline could get behind, that represented this fraternity at its best. Number 5, right out of the gate here, number 5, I'm going to go with Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili, very good athlete, played for the Spurs, definite receding hairline. Maybe not the best talent-wise, but when you look at a guy who was going to go out there with that hairline, did not care about him balding whatsoever. He was ferocious about it. Manu Ginobili was that guy. Big win for the receding hairline community, having a guy like Ginobili out there. I got to get Ginobili at 5. He was spectacular for us. Number 4, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant. Hell of an athlete. Hasn't fully committed to the receding hairline, hasn't jumped out of the front of it. I would like to see him kind of jump out it and let us know that he's with us. He's got the backside receding part, which is hard to see, I'm sure, if you see him in person, being that he's 7 feet tall. And even on a Nets game, you don't see it all the time because it's hard for even the cameraman to get a view of what Durant's got going on back there. But it's just a phenomenal athlete to have as part of the receding community. I got Durant at 4. Number 3, I'm going to go with Drew Brees. I'm going to go with Drew Brees prior to the procedure. I didn't want to go with anybody bald because they've already made that leap to going bald, which I hear is just phenomenal. Apparently, it's very freeing, and it's just a big time thing to make the leap to go bald. Brees did not go bald. He went the total opposite direction, full set of hair now. But when that hairline was receding, Brees was spectacular. He was phenomenal. He's a leader both on and off the field. And when I mean off the field, I mean on that set of hair. Drew Brees made the receding hairline not such a bad thing because QB1 had it. We don't have that anymore. But while that thing was receding, what a time for the community. What a time for the balding fraternity. Brees represented us very, very well. And again, very happy for him. We hate to see him go. It's bittersweet, though. It's nice to see a young man who was struggling the way that we struggle with a full set of hair. I got Brees at 3. Number 2, I got Tiger Woods. I mean, the thing with Tiger is you don't see it all the time because he has a hat on. But what better guy to recede with than Tiger Woods? And that thing's just becoming a mess now. He takes off the hat. It's a disaster. Tiger Woods has the money for the procedure. He ain't taking it. Tiger Woods could go bald. He ain't doing it. He is owning the receding. And as part of the community, we could not be more appreciative than seeing that. Tiger Woods, when he wins a tournament, takes that thing off. Whoa. It's coming at you hot. It's coming at you heavy. And he owns it. And Tiger, we love you for that. We really do. From one guy receding to another, I got Tiger Woods in the 2 hole. Number 1, he's taken a lot of heat for it amongst anything in his career. LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James has really been kind of the face of the receding hairline community. He takes a lot of shit for it on the internet, a lot that I think is ungranted, unwarranted, but he owns it. And I appreciate that about LeBron, one of the best athletes of all time, if not arguably the best athlete of all time. Why not have the best athlete of all time possibly be a receding hairline, have him a part of the balding community? LeBron James has really been a face for us. The reason that I'm going LeBron over Tiger is we see LeBron's head a lot more than we see Tiger's head. That's why I'm giving LeBron the number 1 spot right there. So I got 5 Manu Ginobili, 4 Kevin Durant, 3 Drew Brees, 2 Tiger Woods, 1 LeBron James for the balding community. On from myself and everybody else that stands with us. We appreciate you and we love you. How about a top 5 right out of the gate here to start the Brilliantly Dumb show? We got a lot more to get into. It's time for our prize picks feature of the episode. Folks, I'm excited about this one. We're bringing on a new guy, Vern. Vern is going to be going up against Mikey Bear Down Cuz for prize picks bets. This is parlay season, ladies and gentlemen. Prize picks. It's time to get down to business. Vern from across the pond, another character of the Brilliantly Dumb show that we're going to be introducing you to today. And then we got our guy, Mikey Bear Down Cuz. Let's get into it. We're coming in hot. Okay, folks, so we're going to change things up a little bit here, okay? I want to give the people options. So for our gambling segment with prize picks, we're going to bring in a guy who came in on Joey Coldcut's Instagram Live, and he absolutely just lit the place up. His name is Vern, and people have been DMing me, asking me to bring on this Vern. Vern knows absolutely nothing about American football whatsoever. And I said to Vern, what I want you to do, we have Mikey Bear Down for our insider. We got the expert going up against the guy who knows nothing about football. And just like in March Madness brackets, a lot of times the people who do best are the people who know nothing about the sport whatsoever. So we want to give people 2 options. Do they want to go with Vern? Do they want to go with Mikey Bear Down? Because we'll let the faithful make that choice. But without further ado, let's bring in Vern. He's going to give us his 2 picks for Thursday night, and let's see what Vern has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our guy, Vern. Vern, are you with us there, pal? Vern, can you hear me?
Hello.
There he is, Mr. Vern. How you doing there, big fella?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic on this cold September evening over in England. How are you doing, my friend?
Now, so you are in England, huh, Vern?
I'm in England, yeah. Bristol, England.
Now, tell me something, Vern. You went on Joey Coldcuts Live and people fell in love with you instantly. And I said, you know what? Let's get him on. We got to bring him on the show. How did you start following along with us here, Vern?
I just seen your stuff on the Instagram, yeah, and obviously I started playing golf in February, and like I'm just all about your content, you know what I mean? Like I love Caesar salads and I love poppy seed bagels, and I just relate with them things, you know what I mean? And when I see you, you know what I mean, like hitting bombs, hitting fairways, rating Caesar salads, and you know what I mean, and eating poppy seed bagels, something just clicked, and obviously cold cuts, what a man.
Oh, I mean, Coldcuts is a beauty, and that's what brought us to you, Vern. Do they do a good Caesar salad? Do they do a good poppy bagel in England?
Well, I'm making my own poppy seed bagels, and I do toast them low and slow, exactly how you would do it. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
So
hold on. Vern, you mean to tell me you're in England making your own poppy seed bagels?
I'm making my own poppy seed bagels.
Come on,
No,
Vern. Are you serious? I love you already.
it's got to be done. You're the CEO of Poppy Seed Bagels, isn't it? So I mean, you know, I've clocked it. I've seen how you do it, and they dance around inside you, don't they? You know what I mean? They do
Vern,
special
I'll tell you,
things.
I thought I was a CEO. I think I just got downgraded to vice president. If you're out there making it, I mean, how long does it take you to make your own poppy seed bagel?
Well, it depends how much time I've got and how much effort and love I want to put into it. You know what I mean? Like it really does depend, but I don't know. It can take up to 20 minutes, you know what I mean? If you want to do it properly.
Holy shit. So it's only 20 minutes to make the poppy seed bagel?
Well, I'm not actually making the bagel. We get them obviously from the shop, but the toasting, the filling, I do it all myself.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
I'm back to CEO.
yeah, you're back. I'm not
Okay.
baking the thing. We got busy schedules over here, you know what I mean? We ain't got
Well,
time for that. You
I
know what
was
I
going to
mean?
say it's good. I am officially back to CEO. That
Oh, you
happened.
never left. That's right, you never left. You never
Now,
left, bro.
so Vern, here's what we're gonna do, and I know that I just threw this on you today, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I asked you, and I said, Vern, do you know anything about American football whatsoever? What was your response, Vern?
I said no. I watched the Super Bowl, and that's about as far as it goes. My knowledge is within golf and soccer and English football.
By the way, Vern, before we even get into your picture, what I did want to ask is your brother hit me up and said, hey, I'm Vern's caddy. Now
Did he?
you just started playing February. So is he actually your caddy?
Yeah, he's not actually my caddy. He likes to drink, doesn't he? So he probably just would have gave you a message when he's pissed up. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. All right. You
he's
threw
he's not he's only younger than me. He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
I
I think. Go on.
I said for a sec, I said, holy shit. I said, what is this guy on tour?
No, I wish I was. I wish I was. I mean, business, you know what I mean? But they ain't got time for tour, you know what I mean? If I started playing when I was younger, then maybe I'd be on tour, but nah.
Well,
We got this.
Vern, going on tour is like making your own poppy seed bagel. It takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort.
All right. Well, Vern, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring on Bear Down Cuz after you, who is our insider, our NFL insider. He knows the X's and O's. Vern here does not know the X's and O's. But what I did, Vern, I sent you a picture of the players that we're choosing against. Out of all the players, I want you to pick two players for me and then just tell me over or under. So first thing you're gonna do, Vern, give me your first player that you saw out of the picture that I sent you. This is going to be for Thursday night football. Any player that you see that you like, you let me know the name, and then I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. We're going to do Vern first, Mikey Bear Down Cuz.
Right. So I've got my two, 100%.
Okay, give me your first one.
We're gonna have to go with Terry, I think.
You're going to have to go with who?
Terry McLaren. I can't pronounce his second name. Terry McLaren.
Terry McLaurin. Okay, that's a wide receiver for the Redskins right there, Vern. And what Terry McLaurin's given is 16 fantasy points combined. So now what I'm going to ask you, Vern, are you going to take the over or the under on Terry McLaurin's 16 fantasy points come Thursday?
We're gonna have to take the over, aren't we?
He's going to take the over on Terry McLaurin. And then give me your second player, Vern.
And we got to go for Adam Humphries.
Adam Humphries is going to be the second player here. Wide receiver, 5.5 points. Vern, do you want the over or do you want the under on Adam Humphries?
We're going to have to go with it again, aren't we? You know what I mean, Bobby? We're going to have to go over.
So Vern likes the over. Vern likes the over. Okay, so you're going to have Adam Humphries over 5.5 points. Terry McLaurin over 16 points. Vern from across the pond. You may not even know it, Vern, but this is a big day for you come Thursday.
Big day. Nah, I can feel it. It's a big day. You know what I mean? I don't even know what I picked.
Okay. Well, Vern, you got a chance to create something special here for us. A lot of times with this, Vern, the people who know the least about the sport are the ones that end up best. So I will keep you up to date Thursday. We got Vern's picks are in. Terry McLaurin over 16 fantasy points. Adam Humphries over 5.5 fantasy points. Vern, we appreciate you, big fella.
Nothing but love, innit, guys? And I want to tear it up with you guys soon, innit? So we'll make that happen. Whether it's over here or over there, you know what I mean? We'll make it happen.
No doubt about it. For Vern, this could end up being a weekly thing, and just make sure you bring your caddy with you.
I'll bring him with me. Do not get me wrong. I've got a bag full of caddies.
Vern, you take care of yourself. We'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt the Brilliantly Dumb Show to let you know that the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by our good friends at Mack Weldon. You're a busy guy, so stop thinking about what to wear and just embrace the radically efficient Mack Weldon Daily Wear System. The Daily Wear System is a selection of clothes rooted in smart design, made with performance fabrics, and built to work together. They do it all. I wear the shorts, the shirts. I wear the shorts. I do it all at Mack Weldon because Mack Weldon does it all for me. Buy some time this summer with the Mack Weldon Daily Wear System. For 20% off your first order, visit mackweldon.com/dumb and enter promo code dumb. That's mackweldon.com/dumb, promo code dumb for 20% off. Mack Weldon, radically efficient wardrobing. Do it right, ladies and gentlemen. Wear the most premium products with Mack Weldon. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by our sponsor, BetterHelp. Is something preventing you from achieving your goals? What interferes with your happiness? Check out betterhelp.com/BDS. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist at a much lower cost. Connect in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. I want you to live a happier, healthier life, ladies and gentlemen. And as a listener, I got news for you. You'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor. That's betterhelp.com/BDS. In case you didn't know, that stands for Brilliantly Dumb Show. Betterhelp.com/BDS. Get 10% off your first month. Be healthier, be happier with betterhelp.com, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, folks, without further ado, let's bring on our favorite insider. That is Mikey Bear Down Cuz, also goes by Mikey V, also goes by Mikey Villani, also happens to go by Mikey Unders. Mikey Unders, welcome to the program, sir.
Great to be back. Great to be back, Bob.
Well, you know, I want to throw something right out of the gate, Bear Down. Okay. Before we even get to the pick here, first things first, we had a guy come in for a pick from across the pond out of the UK by the name of Fern. And what we're using Fern as insurance. Fern knows absolutely nothing about the game of football. He was in a Joey Cold Cut live and he knows nothing about the game. So God forbid, Mikey V, we go stone cold. Vern, who knows nothing about the game, is there for backup. That's not going to be the case though, Mikey V. But before we even get to the picks, let me ask you this. Okay. Week 1, first off, did you have a phenomenal Sunday?
Had a great Sunday. Prize picks aside, just a great Sunday. Another over 60% winner Sunday against the spread. That's it. Actually, higher than that, probably closer to 70% against the spread on Sunday.
And boy, did we hammer that down. In fact, you saved our Sunday because me and Cold Cuts did the prize picks were 0 for 1. We did a little bit on the games. The games we were losing bad out of the day. Finally, we said, you know what? Let's go to Mikey V. You hit the afternoon game for us. And then when we were down big, we tried to get it all back like the suckers that we are. It ended up working. You said that the Rams were a stone cold lock. You said it on your IG. You said, in fact, they're going to win by over 17. What do, Mikey V?
They won by 20 points, Bob.
They won by 20 fucking points. So you saved the Sunday. It's a whole new slate, whole new week of games, brand new week 2. Mikey V, our guy. Before that, though, Villani, let me ask you something, okay? You're very familiar with Joey Cold Cuts, right?
Very familiar.
It is a tradition.
Hauntingly familiar.
It is a tradition for us to go to Joey Cold Cuts' house every Sunday. And if there's a man that knows tradition, you know your tradition. You respect your traditions week in, week out, no? Now,
without tradition, we're animals.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Me and Cold Cuts have a tradition. Every Sunday, we go to Joey Cold Cuts' house and we watch the games. And that's always been the case, and it's always been great. With that being said, I don't know how I've done it prior years. He has no air conditioning in his house. We're in Los Angeles, California, Mikey V.
I didn't even know. To be totally honest, I'm being 100% honest when I say this. I'm not exaggerating at all. I thought it was illegal to rent condos, apartment units without air conditioning in the state of California. I legitimately didn't think it was possible to do. I thought that was like a minimal ordinance requirement in the state of California. You could not rent a condo or an apartment without at least a window unit.
Bear down. First off, you could be right. You could be right. And
I don't know.
What the apartment would say is he does have a little wall unit, but it doesn't spit out cold air. And he refuses. He's too lazy to call the apartment building and get a new AC in there. He claims he did, and they fixed it. I was there. It was not fixed. So my question to you is, I want to bring up the idea to Cold Cuts of doing it at my place week 2. There's AC. I just don't know if I could keep doing this every weekend. And I hate to fuck with tradition, but air conditioning is air conditioning.
I mean, as long as the two of you are together and you have a nice venue with a TV, I mean, location is one thing, but I mean, it must not bother him too much because I'm the kind of a guy that between the months of May and September, really up until almost October here in Jersey, I am not sleeping probably one night between those months without the air conditioning on. It just can't happen. So if he doesn't, I just don't know how he does. He must not need it. He must not like it because at the minimum, I'd be going to Home Depot. I'd be going somewhere and just buying myself a shitty $200, $300 window unit, put it in there just for the bedroom alone, I can't sleep under those conditions.
Did you see my Instagram?
Of course. I mean, I commented on it. I had the comment, farm raised tilapia.
Hate to see it. Joey Cold Cuts, it was so hot in there and he refuses to believe that it was hot. And I turn around, he's got a thing of frozen tilapia on his neck to cool him down, yet refused to believe me when I said that the room was scorching. So I think we got to fuck with tradition before we even do that. I'm going to go ahead and call him, and I'm going to let him know that the move will be made come week 2. If it's not made, the conversation has to be had.
Yeah, I mean, it's open for discussion now. I mean, you lay down your parameters, Bob. Comfort is key. I mean, is he playing it off that is he really uncomfortable and he's trying to play it off like, he could grit his way through it? Or is it something that really doesn't bother him? If the kid's putting frozen farm raised fish on his neck to keep cool, I got to imagine it's bothering him. Just
down. I swear to you, when I say to him, hey, the AC, like, dude, we got to get it. He thinks I'm crazy. He thinks I'm fucking nuts. So, bear down, let's give him the call. And I'm not saying we switch at week 2. I'm saying we have the discussion.
Have the narrative.
Let's have the narrative. Let's have the discussion with him. It's a great point. I think he'll flip a shit. Can you hear it?
Is he gonna answer? I hear it.
Hey, dog.
Cutsy?
There he is. What's up, buddy?
There's our guy. Big week one. How about Mikey V saving us with that Sunday night pick?
Dude, I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was really fucking. I mean, I like to think that we had it, and the Bears came back, and I was like,
Yeah,
The
but
way that he just couldn't catch a break.
at the same time, has Mikey V ever steered us wrong?
No, honestly, and you know what? I don't think. I mean, I think he's getting ripped to shreds from the followers, but I don't think he's been really good for us.
He went 0 for 1 on a parlay and hit about 5 out of his 6 games on Sunday.
No, he's been good for us. There's no question. And I got news for you. What is he like tonight? I'll roll with him tonight too.
Well, we're gonna get his picks for tonight. I'll talk to him. I'll give him a call. But
Mom, we gotta go fast. The game's in like 15 minutes.
I know. I'll give him a call. But I do want to talk to you about something.
Well, what's up?
I want to talk about week 2.
What about it?
I want to have the discussion. I want to have the narrative of the possible switch to my place, being that you're a part.
Whoa.
Being
what do you mean your place.
I just want to have the discussion. I'm not saying we do it. I think we have the narrative that being that it's week 2, your place was an absolute sauna.
You know, I gotta tell you, Bob, I went out of my freaking way. I hosted you like a king.
You were a good host.
1942s. I had bagels. I had queso. I had the whole spread. Everything set up.
No,
you know, and I gotta tell you, dude, you're overreacting with the heat. It wasn't that hot. And next week it's not even gonna be hot next week, dude. You act like it's fucking middle of summer. It's fall now.
Cuts, you were a phenomenal host, but there's nothing you could do about the AC, dude. That's out of your control.
It's not that you're acting like it's an Indian summer, Bob. It's going to be 70 degrees next week.
Joe, you were using frozen tilapia on your neck, and you're gonna.
By the way, you know, next time you're gonna post something, I'd like to know ahead of time. I'm getting a lot of flack for that post.
Well, Cuts, but that's the thing. You're acting like I'm crazy for saying that it was hot in there, and then I turn around, and you got a thing of frozen tilapia.
It was a little bit warm. It wasn't that bad. You don't tell the Packers not to play at Lambeau Field because it's cold one week.
That is the worst. That analogy is that is the most. By the way, Cuts, you're here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. You are here with our guy, Mikey.
You know what, dude? You know fucking what?
Cuts.
You gotta tell me before you put me on these things, dude.
Hey, Joe.
You always set me up here.
Cuts. Mikey V says hi.
Where's Bear Down?
Bear Down's here. Bear Down's here.
Bear Down, can you believe this shit that I got to deal with?
Well, Cuts.
Apparently not.
Well, no, listen. I told Bob, I said, perhaps the warm weather doesn't bother Cuts as much as it bothers you. I said, perhaps Cuts is comfortable.
Well, you know, Bear Down, I'll tell you, by the way, just a segue. This kid has got his house at like 62 degrees. I go in there, I got to wear a parka.
I see. I relate more to the cold temperatures. I like the cold temperatures
compared to what he's used to.
Cuts. All we're.
It was not that hot, dude.
It was an absolute sweat box in there. To where.
No, I think you're over.
And again, you were a great host. You had 1942. You were doing mix. Don't get me wrong.
Bobby won't have that when I come by his.
Well,
and
no.
I even stocked the fridge with the waters that you like. By the way,
you did. You had the smart water in there, Bear Down.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a great time, to be honest. 1942 is above and beyond Cuts. But I got to say this. I would never, ever, ever have pegged you for a guy who doesn't like 62-degree temperatures. Never, ever. I would have pegged you for a guy who loves frigid conditions.
I mean, I don't
the
mind
Canada, you got the Canada thing going on. I mean, you're used to that.
Bear Down, his old place used to have 4 AC units in the living room. It was ridiculous.
It was. It was
absolutely ridiculous, Bob. I mean, you got to tell the whole story, not just your side.
Well, but Joe, did I ever hold you to a football Sunday at my place?
No, but it's tradition to watch.
I get it. And that's why I'm saying.
Don't change it, dude.
That's why I'm saying we don't change it. But like Mikey Bear Down even said, it's good to at least have the narrative.
It's bad karma. We will lose every bet. I bet you right now.
That's it. Don't put that on us. That's obnoxious.
That could have been a real game changer for us.
Cutsy. But Cutsy, let me tell you something. We need to have the discussion. And I know you don't want to do it on air, but I will tell you this.
Yeah, I wish I had known I was on air to
be. Cuts, how about if we take the Ravens -2.5 tonight, and then with the winnings, we purchase a nice little window unit from Lowe's.
I like this a lot. Oh, well, let me tell you something. You know what I did, Bear Down? I gave him my window unit, which ran me $500. Wow. I gave it to him for free of charge. I go into his house. Do you think that thing's installed?
Where is it?
I give him a brand new unit.
Bob, I don't know shit.
He's not a handyman. Well, you know what you do? You find somebody who is a handyman and you have them install the unit. It's
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
I'll be honest. The summer hasn't been that brutal. I haven't really needed
Bear
it. Now,
down.
2 summers ago, I could have used it. 2 summers ago was bad.
Bear down. This summer has been brutal.
Joe, there's video evidence of you today, literally on the golf course, literally saying it's hot. And I quote,
You hear
it's
this,
hot as shit out. That's a direct quote from you today on the golf course.
Yeah, that was in the valley, Bob. That's not where I live. Bob, you gotta paint the real picture, not the fantasy version here, Bob.
Let me tell you, if Mikey Villani was visiting us in Los Angeles, I would never have him come there for a football Sunday. And again, you were a great.
But you know what, though? Cuts. Bob says that, but I would bite the bullet. I'd bite the bullet.
Oh,
I'd be
Villani.
uncomfortable, but I'd bite the bullet.
You'd be out by the second quarter, Villani.
That may be between Cutsies and in-game analysis and the temperatures. That may be.
We got to get to our picks here. The Monday night game starting. We're putting in our Thursday pick
For the Ravens, at least?
Yeah, he likes the Ravens.
Yeah,
buy a point, Cuts.
I told you that.
Okay, buy a point for the Ravens. Lock it in. You were a great host. However, I might be hosting week 2. We love you, Joe.
Yeah, you know what? If you're going to be hosting, we have a lot of discussions to do because your hosting game is not that great.
Wow.
Wow.
Just because there's not 1942, you can't hold that against me.
I don't know about the 1942. No, it's just.
Are you saying it Cuts? Does he not put out an adequate spread? Is his spread not adequate by your estimation?
It's very good.
Spread is okay.
If he's saying okay, you know it's really good, by the way.
No, it's not next level is what I'm saying.
Okay. I'll take the okay spread in 68-degree weather over the great spread in 88-degree weather. Let me just put
not 88.
Joe.
88 degrees.
I'm telling you,
It was 88 degrees.
It was a sweat box. Cutsy, you were a good host. I do not hold that. Thank you for the 1942, the whole 9 yards. I am appreciative. It's out of your control. Actually, it is in your control if you could find a guy to install the AC unit.
I got to do that Reddit thing and have that.
Go get that covered. We're going to get our picks in here, okay? We keep riding the Villani train, the same train we've rode from the start. We love you, Cutsy.
Yeah, I love you too. Call me later.
Love you, Cuts.
I mean, Mikey, I'm telling you, it could not
Yeah,
have been hotter.
yeah. I mean, you could.
It was awful.
You could hear the guilt. You could hear the guilt in his voice. He's panicking. I mean, as soon as you brought it up, he started panicking. The temperatures in there, they got to be high. 88 sounds a little extreme, but I wouldn't doubt if that apartment. I wouldn't doubt if it was in the low 80s. I would, and low 80s in an apartment, you're baking.
Yes.
You're baking.
Yes,
You're
could have
baking.
been.
You're
Could have absolutely been. But yeah, I mean, you could see Bob at a different place for week 2. We're recording Monday. This is before the Monday Night Football game. Bear Down likes the Ravens. Again, I think you were 5 for 6 on yesterday's picks. Prize picks were 0 for 1. We're doing all parlays. So if you could give us 30%, we come out winners. We continue to ride the Mikey Bear Down Cuz train. Prize Picks app. Put in Bobby Props to bet with me and Mikey Bear Down. Bobby Props is your promo code. Get your first $100 deposited. Match with us. Come bet with me and Bear Down. Everybody that uses the promo code will be entered for a chance to win a golf round in Joey Coldcut's Sweat Box. No, in Los Angeles, California. Bear Down, let's talk football. Thursday night. Who does the big fella like?
Giants, Redskins. I believe the game is in Washington. Now, I could be mistaken about that. I want to make sure that I have that right because I do think it makes a little bit of a difference. Yes, it looks like it's at Washington, okay? The Thursday night game at Washington. One that I jumped out at me right away, Bob, for the fantasy totals is now you don't have Fitzmagic anymore. He has got a hip sublation, whatever you call it.
What a mess. What an absolute mess.
But I don't think that it is. And I'll say this, I understand why people are concerned about it. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world because I do think that Mr. Heineke, the gentleman playing behind him, who you last saw compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a divisional or wild. No, that was a wild card in a wild card game last year, who put on quite a performance against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, actually ended up helping the Redskins cover a big spread against the Buccaneers. Surprising to everybody. I think Heineke is going to deliver a little bit more than Fitzmagic can. He's more mobile. He's younger. I think the one play that jumped out at me right away when I looked at this, Bob, was Taylor Heineke over 16 fantasy points. I think that I think you could see him run for a touchdown. I think you could see him accumulate some rushing yards. And I certainly think with the targets he has in Logan Thomas, Terry McLaurin, I think he's definitely going to toss for a couple touchdowns. Giants defense, much maligned. You saw what Teddy Bridgewater did against him this week. And Teddy Bridgewater is not a mobile quarterback by any means anymore. And I thought he had quite a field day against the Giants. So Taylor Heineke is a little bit of a gamer. He's a little bit of a wild card, a cowboy type guy. 16 points is low for him. That's the first one that jumped right out at me. Taylor Heineke over 16 points, Bob.
You have the same conviction in the Taylor Heineke over 16 points fantasy points as you did as when you told me Sunday night to hammer the Los Angeles Rams. And that, Mikey Villani, is why I'm right there with you. We had a 2-teamer locked in here. I think we're going to go with a 2-teamer come Thursday.
We have to do 2-teamer, right?
We have to do
minimal 2.
We
minimal
have to 2. Do minimal 2.
Yep.
It could be fantasy football point projections. It could be total rushing yards. It could be receptions. A lot you could do. Bear down. You've been hot. Hit us with our second one. Okay.
Yeah, since we have to go with the opposite team, and we're looking at the Giants side, then I think a good bet, the comfortability level between Sterling Shepard and how silky he was running his routes Sunday. I think that's the one bright spot for the New York Giants was Sterling Shepard in that Bronco game. So 62.5 receiving yards, I don't think is a huge ask from him. I could see him going in the low 70s, mid 70s, maybe low 80s that game. So I think 62.5 over Sterling Shepard receiving yards is a good second place since we have to go with somebody from the Giants. I'm not comfortable with how Galladay is yet. I'm wondering if he's still a little banged up. Darius Slayton is inconsistent dropping the ball. And then again, Saquon, bro, there's something about Saquon. I'm just not there yet with Saquon until he goes out and has a Saquon game where he looks like Saquon Barkley. I'm going to steer clear with him, but Sterling Shepard looked the part on Sunday, the one lone bright spot from the Giants offense.
Mikey, you're hot. I want to keep you hot. I got no issue with either of those. I think we slam those two. I think we slam them pretty hard. I don't think we get too crazy with it. How's 150 to win 450? Heineke over fantasy points. Sterling Shepard over 62.5 receiving yards.
I'll drink to that, Bob.
Mikey V, we love you. We appreciate you. This is our guy. This is who we're rolling with. Let it hammer down. Prize Picks, Bobby Props is your promo code. Mikey V, we love you, pal.
Love you too, buddy.
Go get them. What is the story behind the save the dates for weddings? The amount of paper that we run through and the interaction that we have leading up to a wedding is just beyond me. I mean, we are just chopping down trees left and right. 50% of the reason because we need to have save the dates. You need to have the actual wedding invitation. And then you have, which was new to me until I got one the other day, a thank you card. Like you just went to a 10-year-old's birthday and they're sending out a thank. Do we really need the thank you card? And I appreciate it. I do. But just thank me at the wedding. When you see me, hey, Bob, thanks for coming. That's it. You just saved yourself a stamp. The amount of shit that we got to do before weddings is just beyond me. You think it's stressful for the people booking it? It's stressful for the people going to the wedding. And then the other day, I mean, this is amazing to me. I got one of those save the dates. So what did I do? I saved the date, held on to it, marked it down in my schedule, no problem. I didn't get invited to the wedding. I got to save the date, but I never got the wedding invitation. If that ain't blue balls, I don't know what is. That's a whole nother form of blue balls right there. I saved the date. Turns out there was nothing to save it for. People were asking me, hey, Bob, can you hang out Saturday, the 25th? Can't. Got the day saved. What do you have it saved for? I don't know. I have no idea. Got a feeling it's a wedding, but I couldn't tell you. So I got to save the date, but there was nothing to save. I felt like a restaurant when somebody makes an 8 o'clock reservation and then just doesn't show up for their reservation. What do they give a shit? How terrible is that? I mean, just the different, maybe they meant to invite me, and it just never came. Maybe they thought that the save the date was the invitation. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm on their shit list now, and they shouldn't be on mine. But if you're going to have me save the date, make sure I'm saving it for something. Or maybe give me a call after I received the save the date and said, hey, Bob, you could take that off your date. We're not going to invite you. I think I would have ended up appreciating that more. Send me the save the date and then call me and say, hey, by the way, Bob, you don't have to save anything. You're not making the cut. No problem. Now my whole day is open. I have unblocked that date. And then you talk about these thank you cards. I mean, they got to go through enough booking the whole thing. We don't need the thank you cards. Is there anybody out there who went to a wedding that is waiting on the arrival of the thank you card? What do you think? You hold on to that thing? I mean, let's call a spade here, folks. I don't want to sound like the Grinch of weddings, but these things drive me nuts. And now with COVID, these things are just coming like crazy, left and right, just firing in wedding invitations. I feel like I'm losing a lot of friendships over these wedding invitations. I just can't make them. I can't make them all. I'm saving a whole lot of dates. But how about the balls on those two? Save the date and then you don't send the invitation. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Just something I wanted to get off my chest. Had to get it off. Had to say it. I hope they're watching. That's terrible. But again, come to think of it, they might have said the save the date is the invitation. Maybe nobody showed up to the wedding because they all just got save the dates invitations. I don't know. But I do know they now do not have to send me a thank you card. I spared U.S. Postal Service a delivery. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time to get down to business. What business is that? That's everybody's favorite segment. It's the Ask Bob segment. You know the drill by now, ladies and gentlemen. Week after week, Tuesday after Tuesday, I tell you fine folks, file on into the DMs to be featured for our Ask Bob segment. 848-281-7906 is your number right there. Let's go dancing. We got a top 5 coming in hot out of Massachusetts. Let's let it rip.
What's up, Bobby? Max McDonald from Scituate, Massachusetts. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I was just ripping out Brilliantly Dumb podcast today. And I know you love a good top 5, Bobby. So let me hear your top 5 ballpark food. I mean, I know you can always go with a nice hot dog or a nice sausage. But there's a few other things in there, sneaky things in there, that I think you'll have a good look on. So I want to hear it, Bob. Give me a nice top 5 ballpark food. All right, buddy, take it easy.
Just a real good question out of Massachusetts, and I do. I love a top 5. This is an episode with 2 top 5s in them today. Again, I've always said I think top 5s leave room for good debate, people to go at it a little bit, people to hash it out a little bit. A lot of passionate opinions, especially when it comes to the food top 5s. I think we might have done ballpark foods. And what I think I'm going to do is tailgate foods. I even had somebody ask me that in the DMs. And then this question came in out of Massachusetts. I think the ballpark food is much different from the tailgate food. So I'm going to do the honor of listing my top 5 tailgate foods. In the parking lot prior to the game. I don't really think of after the game. I think of before the game, in the parking lot, ready to rock and roll. You're gearing up for the game. Juices are flowing. Endorphins are high. Number 5, I got the hot dog. Now, I'm not huge on the hot dog, but I think the hot dog is such a classic when it comes to sporting events that you have to do the honor of putting the hot dog there. I think hot dog has got to make it at some point in the list. It's a classic, been there forever. Give me the snapper. Give me the hot dog at 5, top 5 tailgate foods. And then I will go ahead. Now I'm in between 2 here. But I think I'm going to go cheesesteak at 4. I was in between putting ribs on there and then cheesesteak. I thought about it. Although it's a tailgate, not a whole lot of ribs out there. I think you do see a lot more cheesesteaks. I think the cheesesteak, as highly regarded as it is, I think some people are forgetting just how good a cheesesteak is, especially when you're at a sporting event. You don't have to just get them in Philly. They're in other ballparks, definitely at tailgates. I think a good cheesesteak really, really, really hits hard. I got the cheesesteak there at 4. Go ahead and lock me in for the buffalo chicken dip at 3. The buffalo chicken dip over the past, I don't know, 5 to 7 years has been trending upwards and is showing no signs of slowing down. If you got in early on the buffalo dip, the buffalo chicken dip, if you got in early, you're looking real good right now. I would even hold on to that stock as high as it is. Buffalo chicken dip, it just, as soon as you eat it, you just feel like sports, you know? Whether there's a big slate on, there's sports in the air, you're at a sporting event, something about that buffalo chicken dip. I almost don't want it if it's outside of sports, if I'm not going to be getting sports. Buffalo chicken dip is trending up, and it's trending up fast. I got buffalo chicken dip at 3. Number two, buffalo chicken dip at 3. This ain't easy. This ain't easy. Never is. Never will be. Number 2, I think you got to go. I think you got to go with the hamburger at 2. It's just hard to beat a good burger. Whether you're at a sports bar, you're at a tailgate, you're inside the stadium, it's just hard to beat a good hamburger. It really is. It has withstood the testament of time. Burgers are still there. They are still spectacular and that much better at a sporting event. I got burger at 2. Number 1 may surprise some people, but it is a staple of a tailgate, an absolute staple of a tailgate. I think one of the only times I'll have it is at a tailgate. I'll have it, but it's just not very, you don't see it often in the regular day-to-day world, but my, oh my, is it spectacular. Lock me in for a good sausage and peppers sandwich. Lock me in for a good sausage and peppers, and you'll be looking at a very happy Bob. Sausage and peppers, again, just a staple of a good tailgate. It's really hard to fuck it up. There's better ones than others, just like anything, but something about the sausage and peppers at a tailgate really hits hard. So if there's anything you take out of today, buffalo chicken dip, don't sell that stock yet. Hold on to it because it just keeps trending up. Sausage and peppers at 1. I feel good about that. Burger at 2 could be debatable, but I still feel good about that. That's your top 5 tailgate foods, folks. Football's back. Week 1 is in the bag. Week 2 coming up. We're going to have a Thursday night game. Mikey Bear Down Cuz joined us. Vern joined us from across the pond. Just a phenomenal episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We'll see you next time back Tuesday on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. We love you. We appreciate you. And I got to tell you, folks, can't wait till I see you again. You folks take care now.